travel out of state, unfortunately, because we already have really restrictive limits around abortion. We help a lot with the financial component, whether that's helping to cover the cost of the medication or procedure, or helping with logistical support, plane tickets, food, childcare, things like that. So we're really involved, and this obviously impacts the work that we do, especially under this bill. Organizations like ours couldn't exist. We do a lot of legislative work and also education about birth control, pregnancy, abortion. So it's really important to us that this bill doesn't pass.
Did you help organize this event? Or what was your...
Yeah, Planned Parenthood organized the event, and then we worked in tandem with them to do a little bit of the organizing as well.
Okay. In terms of the outcome, let me just, because it's still going on right now, but when you got up there, when you were on stage talking to people, what was going through your mind, and how do you think about the turnout?
I am overblown by the turnout here. I would say, and I think most people would agree, the turnout is overwhelmingly in opposition to this bill. The Palmetto State Abortion Fund did several events leading up to today, postcard writing events, and I had people from all over the political spectrum at these events, even Republicans, even people who are pro-life, but who just really oppose this bill for the way it interferes with the way that we access medical care, the way it interferes with access to birth control, fertility treatments, and also just the invasion of privacy that people want to just maintain between them and their doctors.
Can you talk a bit more about crossing the aisle sort of here on this issue?
Yeah, Winthrop actually did a study, it's been a few years ago now, but around 75% of South Carolinians oppose a total abortion ban, and that's regardless of what their political affiliation is. And so I think we're seeing that today with the huge turnout that we've had. And it really, again, this ban is so much more than just an abortion ban, which is why I think so many people are so passionate about it, because even people who maybe are pro-life still want their children to be able to access birth control, still want them to be able to access fertility treatments. And again, just that invasion of privacy between an individual and their doctor has, I think, really gotten under people's skin.
Sorry, bringing kind of like more like broader range with the way that like things kind of are today. How does it make you feel? Does it make you hopeful to be able to talk to people on the other side of the aisle that like you find common ground?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes me hopeful. My biggest hope is just that the senators inside are listening. We have written postcards just this week. Palmetto State Abortion Fund delivered over 2,000 postcards to the senators on the subcommittee here. So we hope that they're listening. We feel very hopeful about the turnout and what we're hearing from South Carolinians. We just need our legislators to listen to what we're saying.
Anything else that you want to say? Anything that I missed?
I think the only thing I would add is just, if you're interested in this fight and moving forward, make sure that you're following organizations like Palmetto State Abortion Fund, Planned Parenthood Vote South Atlantic, as well as organizations like REN and ACLU, and just stay up to date, because I'm guessing a lot of people didn't even know this was happening today, and this isn't the end, this is just the beginning of fighting an abortion ban.
Okay. I know I was kind of wrapping it up there, but you filled in. I was just going to ask like who is here, and you just went through that list there. But in terms of any of the organizations, like I see that there's some tents set up. What sort of resources are here as well? If you could just go over that.
Yeah, so there's several organizations here: Palmetto State Abortion Fund, Planned Parenthood, SC United, ACLU. We even had abortion funds from other states come in, like Carolina Abortion Fund and Yellowhammer out of Alabama. But we're here sharing resources about how to stay up to date, but also how to get involved. I think a lot of people, when things like this happen, are really motivated and they want to do something. So whether it's phone banking, writing postcards, there are so many ways to get involved, and reaching out to those organizations, following them on social media is a great way to do that.
Anything else?
I think that's all.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
A former member of this body admit it fell
Have a good day.
apart.
Thank you for being here.
Take care.
say, hey, I got what you want, but it's going to cost you a little more because not only is this on the video, but she got pregnant and had to keep my baby. That ignites something inside of me, y'all. South Carolina's better than this. And I said online last night, under no circumstances, because what we've seen are little tricks, right? There are people who will file these bills that are extra extreme so that everybody can rally up and they can come to you later and say, oh, well, we listened. We took out this and added an exception. We took out this and made the bill bad. I don't give a damn. What I said, they could take that bill and do a strike and insert and put in my bill to do away with state income tax. I would still vote against it because it doesn't come from a pure place. You can't go and file legislation that doesn't contain exceptions for rape or incest, that criminalizes women who are already have it hard enough in today's America, and say we made it better, so vote for it. No. It comes from a dark place, and nobody up here should support it. So, primarily to the women out here, I want to leave you with this. The most important word that you have right now in this state and in this country is the word no. No means no. The most important word you have is no. And you got to ask yourself, is legislation like this something that is acceptable? No. And if the answer is no, everything that you do, it's great you show up here. It's great that you have your online communities. But everything you do should be in furtherance of the word no. I need you to take the word no. And I need you to go into your body that belongs to you. Don't invite the government in there. I need you to go down to your bones. And I need you to tattoo the word no on your own bones. And as we proceed up here, and those of us that are elected have this fight, and you feel like giving up, you feel like quitting, you feel like you're losing hope, young lady, I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to think about the fact that you have the word no tattooed on your bones, and I want you to dig deep. I want you to fight hard. I want you to be loud. I want you to keep going. I want you to never quit, because people like me, Representative Rutherford, Representative Grant, others, we ain't going to give up on you. There ain't a piece of quit in these bones. So I want you to be encouraged, stay hopeful. Vicki, y'all get this beautiful woman here. Give her a round of applause. Vicki, we love you. And we met years ago. And you don't age. I age like, I don't know. But I was a young man when I met you. You still do. But what I want to tell you in front of all of you is,
with the red tie?
when I met you, the passion that you had,
Yeah, the red.
how
I'm
hard
honestly
you
not
worked,
sure.
how much commitment and dedication and time like you put in for us up here. When I feel like quitting, sometimes I think about you. Okay? So y'all, keep going. Don't give up, man. I love y'all, and I got to end with this. If nobody's told you lately, y'all, that you are loved, just know that you are loved. And I need you to make the rest of your life the best of your life, y'all. Love you.
Now you understand why I love him so much. He's such a flatterer. And I'm going to tell, when I first met him, and rights in our health care. And this is a funny story. When we were battling one of these bans he mentioned, we had a judiciary subcommittee meeting where he came with a wagon full of amendments to be introduced that night at the hearing that went late to the night, and he brought his coffee maker. He said he's here for the direction, and I think it scared a lot of people, but he has been a stalwart fighter of ours ever since I've known him. Another fighter is Representative Beth Bernstein of House District 78 right here in Columbia. Beth is also a champion of choice. All these folks fight for us, fight for you. So, without further ado, meet my angel, Beth Bernstein.
Thank you. And I appreciate if you see a bunch of folks walking over here, so either you stay or the ones over there, thank y'all for being here and standing here today, because our rights, our bodies, and our futures are under attack. And let me be clear, we will not go back. We will not go back. Our bodies are not battlegrounds. Our choices are not up for debate. Our freedom is not negotiable. We know the truth. Reproductive rights are what? Rights. Human rights. And when they try to silence us, we will shout louder. When they try to push us back, we will push forward. When they try to strip away we will rise up together and show them we are unstoppable. This is about freedom. This is about equality. This is about the basic right to control our own bodies. And if they think we're going to stand by while they take that away, they are dead wrong. Proud show. And make no mistake, this is more than just about choice. It's about equality and it's about health care. This is about whether we trust people, especially women, young people and families, to make the best decisions for themselves. The other side wants us to feel powerless. They want us to shrink back, to accept that our voices don't matter. But look around you. See the power of this crowd. See the courage in this movement. We will not be silent. We
All right, you can look at me. Can you state your name and how to spell it, please? I'll hold on to this. Your name and how to spell it, please?
Yeah, Mark Corral. That's MarkCorral.
All right, your organization?
Equal Protection, South Carolina.
Okay, great. Why are you here today?
We're here today as an organization to promote the good aspects of Senate Bill 323, the Unborn Child Protection Act, and to also ask for certain amendments to make the bill a full bill that provides equal protection from preborn beginning at fertilization. The bill right now, as it stands, protects babies from the moment of a clinically diagnosable pregnancy, and we'd like to have that bill start at the moment of fertilization.
Okay, can you talk more about the equal protection? Can you just talk a bit more about that aspect, where that came from?
Absolutely. So our organization's mission is to educate and mobilize Christians to urge their legislators to enact laws of equal protection. We have a bill on the House side. It's called House Bill 3537. It's the South Carolina Prenatal Equal Protection Act. It's a very simple bill. It amends current homicide code to define a person as all people that begins at fertilization. Therefore, the laws that protect you and I from people assaulting or killing you would be the same laws that protect the preborn people beginning at fertilization. So that's how we got the name Equal Protection. It's part of the 14th Equal Protection Constitutional Amendment. It's also in the South Carolina Constitution in Article 1, Section 3.
Okay. Can you tell me a bit more about the background of this bill? Why is this important act?
Yeah, absolutely. So Senator Cash filed this bill. We really applaud his efforts and how the bill has criminal penalties for all culpable parties that take part in abortion. See, we believe that abortion is murder and that nobody has the right to kill anyone, whether it's inside the womb or outside the womb. So the fact that Senator Cash filed this bill, and it has what we call teeth, right? It has criminal penalties for whoever's involved in the abortion. We applaud that effort, and that's why we're out here supporting that aspect of the bill. But again, we would like to see it kind of go all the way and provide equal protection of the laws.
Okay. There are people that on both sides that appear to be opposed to this bill. Can you talk about that?
Yes, we were very disappointed. Some pro-life organizations came out in opposition of the bill. They don't see a need to have criminal penalties for all parties involved, but we see that as showing partiality. See, we believe that it should be illegal for everyone to kill anyone, and that includes whether it's the father, whether it's the mother, and that's a big thing now is that mothers are ordering pills online and they're having abortions at the home. So mothers now are actually becoming the abortionists. And under some of the pro-life laws, there's actually a carve-out in the bills that gives them a blanket immunity from the law that makes it legal for them to kill their own baby, and we want to close those loopholes in our laws.
And they're also talking about this bill opposing contraception as well?
Yeah, so that's not quite accurate. So contraception prohibits pregnancy. There are certain contraceptions that can actually not just prohibit pregnancy, but actually kill a baby once it's been fertilized. Now, the language in the bill today where it's clinically diagnosable pregnancy would also would allow for that, unfortunately, but it wouldn't ban contraceptives. That's just another tactic that the left uses to try to malign the bill to get support and opposition.
Okay, would that count for like IUDs as well? I'm not exactly sure what category that would fall under.
Yeah, same thing. IUDs are there to prevent pregnancy. Now that's another conversation, right, on whether or not you believe that's the right approach. But this bill wouldn't prevent those types of contraceptives. It would just prevent somebody using those to try to intentionally kill a preborn baby after a clinically diagnosable pregnancy. That's when it would be illegal.
How does something like an IUD? How does that? It prevents the pregnancy. Does it kill preborn babies?
It does. It prevents pregnancy. They've been known to be an abortifacient, which means if fertilization happens, that contraceptive could then cause an abortion. Under this bill, that actually wouldn't be provable because at that point, there's not a clinically diagnosable pregnancy because that usually happens 7 to 10 days after fertilization, like implantation, and those contraceptives, if they are an abortifacient, that usually happens before then. Our bill would actually solve for that. We believe that murdering anyone at the moment of fertilization, whether it's through contraceptives, Plan B, mifepristone, any method should be illegal, but this bill doesn't go that far yet.
Okay. So the abortifacient, the IUD, it prevents implantation, but would you count that as an abortion?
We would count that as abortion, but the way that the bill is, 323, they've defined abortion from the moment of a clinically diagnosable pregnancy, which would then not count that as abortion. So we would like to see all abortions banned.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. And then I was sorry, I lost my train of thought. I had another question about the kind of like crossing the aisle there. Let me ask you this: there are people that might say that there are people that refer to abortions as healthcare. There are people on both sides of the aisle that are worried about this bill regarding women's health or the health of the mother. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so there's a provision in the bill that if a mother's life's at risk, that the doctor should take reasonable steps. See, we believe that life begins at fertilization. That means a doctor is bound to try to care for both patients. You have two patients now, right? So you're trying to save both lives, and in the tragic event that you can only save one life, the doctor would remove the baby, not intentionally kill the baby. They would remove the baby and try to save the baby's life, and if the baby's life's lost, that's not an abortion. That wouldn't be illegal under this bill.
It's like a double effect. I think I've heard that before.
The what?
I think I've heard it referred to as a double effect. Okay. There are people that also say that this bill might cause a chilling effect, where a doctor, where they might be more worried about taking a step that, like what you were just talking about. Sure. Can you talk about that?
I think it's a very honest question, and if you ask many OB/GYNs that actually are in this field, is that there's a stark difference between intentionally killing a baby, a preborn baby in utero, versus removing that baby via C-section and then trying to save that baby's life. If it's really early on, the baby's not going to survive, most likely, obviously, but that's different than intentionally going into the safest place, which should be the safest place for the baby, and intentionally kill the baby. It's actually easier for the doctor to do a C-section and remove the baby and try to save the baby's life. Therefore, then you save the mother's life. You just remove the baby, and that's all. The language from the left and the chilling effect and the maligning of this bill is not good for the cause.
Okay. And then does that, what you were just talking about there, does that fall for if a pregnancy isn't viable to carry to term, something like that?
Yeah, well, if a pregnancy is, I guess they would argue if the pregnancy is not viable, then they should be able to kill that baby through abortion. Our position is that whether it's viable or not, if the mother's life's in danger and the doctor's taken reasonable steps to save the woman's life and the baby's life, then the doctor just needs to remove the baby and not intentionally kill it. Right? Remove the baby, and if it's not viable and it dies, that would not be an illegal activity under this bill.
Okay. Anything else about this bill, or what's going on here today, the vote, things like that?
Yeah, I would just say that I've seen the culture changing on this matter. We're seeing, especially the young kids, we're seeing a lot of changing in the culture where science is irrefutable that life begins at fertilization. And so we're seeing more people support the philosophy and the constitutional right to end abortion. And so we're very excited about what God's doing, about what a lot of our legislators are doing who are supporting ending abortion. And so we'll keep pressing on.
Anything else?
No. Appreciate you being out here. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you.
Hope that helps y'all at all.
Yeah, thank you. It's important to get both sides.
Yes. I'll make sure Representative Magnus
ago we began that, and we had 40 churches
Okay.
sign up for that year to take a week of targeted prayer. Halfway through the year,
I'm going to be standing over here. You can look at me.
Kevin's on our South Outreach team. On a Saturday morning, he called me, and he said, nobody's here at the abortion center. Well, that's weird. And we came to find out that they had closed on Saturday. Halfway through.
Okay, would you mind just by stating your name, how to spell it, and your title, please? I'll hold on to this.
Josiah Magnuson, State House Representative for District 38, Northern Spartanburg County.
Okay, what brings you here today?
Well, I'm trying to, do I look at you?
Yes, you can look at me, yeah.
Okay. My goal is to help to stop the killing of these precious children in the womb. And we have done a lot in South Carolina over the years that I've been in office to push back and make sure that children are not killed with cold blood. But it's still legal to kill unborn babies prior to 6 weeks in the womb. It's still really legal for any mother to kill her own child in the womb. And these are things that need to be stopped. And so S323 would do that.
Okay, and the people that are here today, both sides of the rally, the people that are opposed to this bill, what's something that you would have to say to them?
I would say just have compassion. You know, we hear so much from the other side about love for your neighbor, but the true love is to not kill a person who God made in his image, who has different DNA from you. Maybe they're dependent on your body, but that is not the same as your body, and the law should protect those unborn children. And so just because the law doesn't protect them at this time, still please have compassion on them. Let them have life like God created them to have. That's what I would say to them.
In terms of the feedback that you've been hearing on both sides of the aisle, what sort of feedback have you been getting?
I think I'm optimistic that this movement is growing. We know that more and more people are realizing that life truly begins at fertilization, and we are seeing a shift. People are taking courage, standing up for what's right, and not letting the left and these folks that really don't have love for these unborn babies, they're not getting the last word anymore. And so I'm grateful for people that are in the church and in the community speaking out and letting their voice be heard. So I'm going to continue the fight as best as I can.
And as for people that are concerned about the health of the mother, what do you have to say about that?
So this bill does deal with the life and health of the mother. All pro-life legislation makes sure that we don't prosecute women who have medical emergencies. And I think that's just a falsehood that's been promulgated, that somehow pro-life legislation hurts mothers. That is not the case. It protects babies and it protects mothers. And even the criminal prosecution aspect that is in this bill, people don't understand that it actually is a protection of women because it prohibits them from being coerced to have abortions. It allows for safeguards. For example, if they testify in court against the person who pushed them to have an abortion, then they get full immunity from the crime. So we are doing all that we can to protect women, and we don't take it lightly when people put out things that are not true, saying that either this is bad for women in total, or the specific problem that keeps coming back, which we've already again addressed, that it stops people from being treated for medical emergencies. This bill allows for people to be treated for medical emergencies, and it specifically carves out ectopic pregnancies and those sorts of issues, just as other pro-life legislation has.
Okay, and as for criminal charges for people that do get for people that do get abortions and people that assist in that, what do you have to say about that?
So men and women who kill another person should be charged under the law. That's what this bill does.
Okay. For people that give this, like saying, like, there have been people that have been talking about, like, even just saying, oh, well, you could go out of state and you could go here. Would that be making them implicit then? Or how does that work?
I'm not sure I understand the question, sorry.
Does it become a free speech issue if someone is like giving guidance as to how to get an abortion?
I think anytime that you conspire with another person to commit a homicide, then you should be prosecuted.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Let's try to, let's see, let me back up. We need the people of South Carolina to step up and push this bill. We've seen the establishment saying they're opposed to this. We've seen the left say they're opposed to this. So when you see that happening, you know it must be a good thing. It would be a huge win for our little children, our little babies. We need to protect all life. That's one thing I would say. Another thing I would say is the reason this matters is because every life is equally valuable before God. And when you start to allow the killing of somebody because they're dependent on another person, when you allow the killing of somebody because they're smaller than you or younger than you, then you allow for that principle to be applied anywhere. And these little children in the womb, they don't deserve to be killed, just like you and me don't deserve to be killed. And it doesn't matter if they're disfavored by society, they should still have that right to life.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.